Fulcrum here. Today we're going to react and review to Vader Episode 1, Shards of the Past, a Star Wars Theory fan film. So let's dive in.
Come in. This is Paul.
Alright. Interesting. Well, that's true. Suffering.
I will not be denied. Open fire!
Okay. Okay, if he's choking the Emperor, this has to be a dream or a vision or something. And take it on the clones. Yeah, this is way too OP. It's gotta be a dream.
There is no escape.
Ouch. Yeah, the Emperor would never let him do this in a million years.
Answer for your failure to save her. Yet, like the Jedi, you have left me a mere shadow of what I was promised. You have taken everything.
Everything. Foolish boy. You grieve for the dead wife of an insolent Jedi.
That Imperial Guard is not having a good day. It was like a Sam Raimi moment right there.
How much
I'm ready for him to wake up. There's no way. Alright, how's it just randomly lying around?
It will bring you good fortune.
It's beautiful. I don't need this to remember you by.
Anakin,
My caring for you.
Anakin grew his hair out. This feels a little weird. Little awkward moment.
And that
is why you'll never defeat me. As long as
Sith
you
Padme.
keep your
I dig it.
feet anchored.
Lord Vader, you have an urgent message.
There we go. Alright, that's where a lot of that budget went. Right there. This shot.
Gods, leave us.
Every time, guards leave us. Palpatine does not like those guards around.
My master.
Why? Ah, I see. Then what
Emperor's feeling a little
is
too
the
empathetic
shadow
right now.
leader? Give in
It's not
to
like
your
him.
anger. Strike me down.
I have no such wish, master.
Anyone? If so, only your hate will eradicate him. Use it.
I know Palpatine's always testing Vader, but this doesn't feel like something Palpatine would have done.
Cannot, my master.
That is why my disappointment with you grows by the second. Embrace the choices that have brought you here.
He's acting more like a disappointed
Forever
father
live in
than
the shadow of
Sith Lord.
Skywalker. A powerful Jedi survives in the Mid-Rim. He must pay the price for his betrayal.
As you wish.
Another Jedi survived Order 66.
Of Naboo.
All right.
Of course, Vader. The clones that report he wields an amethyst blade.
All right.
How is that possible?
Mace Windu, purple lightsaber.
Will you?
Not sure about how I feel about Mace surviving.
Eliminate this Jedi. The rival before you.
Then I will not fail, Master.
Palpatine wouldn't put himself open like that so much. He wants to like keep control over Vader,
Prepare my personal shuttle.
like a dog on a leash.
I seem to be a
All right, those graphics are pretty good. It's pretty good for a fan film. Prequel type music.
I want that Jedi. I will use the 501st.
As you wish, sir. Make way for the boys in blue. Right away, sir.
501st. Love my boys. Another vision, or is that... Guess we won't know until part 2. Okay, my thoughts. First off, I have to go into this remembering that it is a fan film and that they don't have the big budget that a lot of movie studios have, and of course, like the whole VFX team and everything else. So I thought that there was a big budget that went into this. A lot of the special effects when it came to you know, hyperspace and planets, stuff like that, all that looked great. The script and the writing felt a little bit off in that the relationship between Vader and Palpatine. Palpatine was always testing Vader. And of course, this is a fan film, so they're kind of like writing their own little story within this. But that dynamic, Palpatine tests Vader, but doesn't put himself as vulnerable as this Palpatine did with this Vader. I mean, knowing that Vader has these weaknesses and is still overcoming these aspects. I mean, like for the full 20-something years that Vader was Vader, Palpatine never stopped testing him, like all the way up to the end. You see in Return of the Jedi, like he's being tested. But that felt a little bit off as far as the writing there. Not too much. It didn't get too off base, but the beginning felt like, of course, like we've got like a fever dream that he's having because he's conflicted with stuff. But it felt too much like trying to like show a Vader power level, and it was obviously fake because fake meaning the dream. Because, you know, Palpatine wouldn't have put himself in that position where he's just like, you know, getting all out of sorts. Like he would never let Vader get that much over on him. But of course, you know, it was a dream. It was a vision that he was having. And I think it's interesting that he was dealing, Vader in the dream was dealing with some of these emotions that he would have had. Becoming Vader and then learning certain things that, you know, Palpatine didn't have the answers for Padme, and that you know, Anakin was kind of responsible for Padme's demise. But I feel like that was confronted differently than, say, George Lucas would have handled something like that. I think Anakin would have been dealing with a lot more guilt. Rather than anger at Palpatine. I think a lot of that suffering was internal, was about himself, not so much like being angry at Palpatine. He felt still this was just after the fall of the Republic, so he really would have been feeling that guilt and that pain and that angst for Padme's return, but. It would have been more on him than on Palpatine. If it had been all on Palpatine, I don't think Vader would have had a problem trying to end his now master. Overall, I thought it was fine. Like the film itself was fine. I feel like there was definitely a skewed idea of what Vader and Anakin are. But I think, you know, like the whole idea is like giving the people who made this their idea of what this film is. So overall, I wasn't impressed necessarily so far with part 1. We'll see what happens in part 2. So the next video we're going to do is part 2. But it was fine. Visuals were decent. Acting was okay. I mean, the Emperor kind of going in and out of the Palpatine voice. You know, like there are certain moments where you're like, oh yeah, that was pretty close, and other times it takes you out of it. Obviously, they're not the actual actors. You know, some of Vader's like mannerisms and things like that, like were just a little far off. That it was took me out of it a little bit, but not too bad. So overall, it was fine, but so far I don't see why, if that makes sense. But we'll see what happens in part 2. Maybe my mind will be changed. And also, bringing back Mace Windu, I think, really takes away a lot of that whole Anakin Vader turnover storyline. Like, by having Mace Windu survive, it takes a lot away from that scene. I think Mace should, as much as I love Mace, I would love to see Mace again, but I think Mace should stay out the window. But other than that, it's okay. We'll see what happens in the next one, and I will see you there. Fulcrum out.